Hello and welcome back to Chat About It, Don't Shout About It with me, Rachel, the Queen of the Woke, as crowned by one of my haters. Please like, share, subscribe and switch on those notification bells so that you know when I release another video. The notification bell is very important because YouTube is not pushing videos at the moment. Thank you to everyone who's joined me already. I really can't run this channel without you, and thank you to everyone who subscribed on my RTD video yesterday. I couldn't believe it. I was floored. So thank you. The coveted awards, that is the Baftas, aired the other day. And once again, David Tennant took to the helm of it, hosting this year's wonderful, glorious, illustrious event that celebrates actors. After spiking lots of controversy last year, David Tennant decided that he was not going to be problematic, so to speak. He seemed to be showing remorse that he might have upset actress Cate Blanchett. This is what he said. The Baftas are supposed to be kind. He told the publication, this was Radio Times, last year, we weren't trying to roast people, but there was a joke about Cate Blanchett and she looked a little bit annoyed, a bit PISS'd off. And I remember going, oh God, no, I think you're brilliant. I was just trying to be witty and make a point about how you've got lots of prizes and we love you. So I think if I've learned anything, it's probably that I'm not interested in picking fights or making anyone feel in any way uncomfortable. If I have a style, it's only that. So that is what he said this year. That's what he was going to do. He was going to pull it back. This is what he said about Cate last year. I always thought, like the seat planner would know, and they've put winners at the front of the end of an aisle. No, they've got hidden cameras. They can pick you up anywhere. So if you've got to scramble and climb over Cate Blanchett to get your hands on an award, that is what you do. However, if you look at her, she doesn't seem to be all that angry, in my opinion. She was laughing. Whether or not it was a laugh that tells you she was angry, that's debatable. I'm not a body language expert, but this was her face after what he said. I did try to see if there was a quote from Cate at all, to see if she had a bad reaction or was angry with David Tennant, but I couldn't actually find anything. Maybe I was just not looking hard enough. I don't know why David Tennant was so cautious about offending people with the right view this year. You've got to remember that offence is taken, not given. Something that he seems to be forgetting anyway, because he's quite happily went on and said in this year's Baftas an insult, well, I say insult loosely, to the current president of the United States. This is what he said. This is an article from GB News. David Tennant wastes no time targeting Donald Trump in opening Bafta monologue as he ridicules US president. A villain. Donald Trump came into David Tennant's firing line during his opening Baftas monologue on Sunday evening, despite the former Doctor Who star vowing to tone down any suggestion of offence during his set. The US president was branded a villain by the actor just moments after he opened the show with a rendition of the Proclaimers hit, I'm Gonna Be 500 Miles. Soon he landed on the Sebastian Stan and Jeremy Strong blockbuster The Apprentice. The Apprentice, which Trump vows not to watch, tells the story of young Trump making his name as a real estate mogul in 1970s New York, where he counters cutthroat lawyer Roy Cohn, played by Strong. I think I've said that correctly. Sorry if I butchered that. The US president has publicly criticized the film and insisted he'll never watch it over its depiction of him, something Tennant mocked within minutes of his opening monologue. Donald Trump says he hasn't seen The Apprentice because it's not on Nickelodeon, Tennant said to giggles from the crowd. After repeating his name a few more times, Tennant went on, I've said his name 3 times. It's like I've summoned him like Beetlejuice. Trying to move on, Tennant then received a round of applause from the crowd as he remarked, talking of villains. Now, in his opening speech, he pretty much does actually keep it very tame, like he said he would. But it's okay to throw an insult about the President of the United States because he doesn't have the right view. I actually think that is a bit of a double standard, to be honest with you. He holds back because he thinks that Cate Blanchett might have been a little bit irritated with what he said, and he talks about being kind. Yeah, this kind man infers that the President of the United States is a child and a villain. And this is what he also said about the current leader of the Conservative Party in the UK, Kemi Badenoch. He said this last year at an award ceremony. We shouldn't live in a world where that is worth remarking on. However, until we wake up and Kemi Badenoch doesn't exist anymore, I don't wish ill of her. I just wish her to shut up. Now, in general, I actually really don't care what he thinks about the President of the United States. I just want to call out this is a mega double standard. Saying that you have to be kind to people and then having all this kind demeanor, yet thrown in is some cheap jibes, well, jokes in his case. He seems to actually think that is completely acceptable. Twitter actually disagreed. Now I have a question. What makes one completely correct and one completely wrong? My friend John Yulden had this to say. It's funny hearing David Tennant having a pop at Trump, but isn't it funny how he has not commented once on his beloved Labour taking the winter fuel allowance away from pensioners? Complete clown. John has actually got some facts there that are very true. Our current government is a mess. They haven't kept their promises and they suddenly have the money to fund something else that is going on elsewhere in the world. David Tennant, by introducing the President of the United States into his opening speech, made it about politics. So if you can actually acknowledge what's going on elsewhere politically in the world, within the United States, I should say, in a Bafta speech, then why are you actually not acknowledging what's going on in the UK currently right now with your beloved Labour Party? Even the Baftas had to admit that they edited some of what David Tennant had actually said. So in the live broadcast, the bits that he said about the President of the United States in the opening speech were left in, but apparently there were some bits that were also edited out. This is what a spokesperson from the BBC had to say to Shill Radio Times. The nature of the show is that it's broadcast with a short delay and edits have to be made due to time constraints. So according to that quote right there, the edits were not made because there were jibes or jokes. The edits were made because of time constraints. Well, we don't know what these other jibes or jokes actually were, so we have to actually take them at their word for it, but it does actually make you wonder, doesn't it? It would appear to me that hosting the Baftas, David Tennant has shown more than just a double standard. He was doing that anyway, but it just highlights it even more. That's what I think. Let me know what you think. Chat about it, don't shout about it. Like and subscribe, switch on the notification bells because that really does help me out. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you tomorrow at 4 p.m. with some massive, massive Doctor Who woke news. Bye-bye.